World Cup pick today, we are looking at Brazil against Japan in the round of 32. It is the knockout stages. My free pick on this one, I'm going to take Brazil to win on the three-way money line at -145. Keep in mind, a draw after regulation time would result in a loss. This is the three-way money line. This is August Young here with Doc Sports. And a quick accountability check on these. Through Saturday's completed card, the World Cup videos are now hitting 58% for almost 6 units in profit. And we finished 4 and 2 on Saturday for 2 units. Remember, guys, I'm covering every single game this World Cup, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out. But we're going to jump into this one. Brazil around -145 on that three-way money line. The draw priced at +275. Japan at 4-1, +400. The total at 2.5. The over around +105. The under sitting at -120. And I will be backing Brazil to win here. So Brazil won Group C. They had 7 points. They drew 1-1 with Morocco. Then they beat Haiti 3-0 and Scotland 3-0. They've been taking care of business lately. That's 7 goals scored and only 1 conceded. Our -2.5 we had on Brazil against Haiti also cashed in the 3-0 victory. That was actually our exact score prediction there. And I do want to mention, this is a revenge spot. Japan beat Brazil 3-2 in a friendly last October. So I think that's factoring into the pricing here. And that was Japan's first ever win against Brazil. So Brazil will know exactly what can happen here if they lose focus. But this version of Brazil has looked much stronger during the tournament. Vinicius, he has been excellent. Neymar has now returned to the group. And Brazil have looked more balanced in every single match as we've progressed here. But I do have to say, Japan deserve respect. 4-1 against Brazil and 275 on that draw is no joke. It shows the respect the market is giving this team. They came through a difficult Group F unbeaten. They drew 2-2 with the Netherlands. Then they beat Tunisia 4-0. And then they drew with Sweden 1-1. They're a very organized team, technically very clean and very dangerous when they can attack quickly. There are injury concerns. It's a very different test here from the group stage. And Brazil's biggest edge here is going to come with defensive control. They've allowed only 1 goal so far this tournament. They have athletes that can deal with Japan's wide attacks, late runners, and so on. But Japan can absolutely make us uncomfortable, so we do need to pay attention to that. But it's obvious that Brazil do have the better quality individually and as a team. They have the more knockout experience, more ways to find that big decisive moment. The concern for me would be the draw. Japan are good enough to keep this thing level for long stretches. And in a knockout match, Brazil may become more careful as the game progresses if it is tied late. So I could see a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes. That's very, very possible here. But around -145, I just trust Brazil's top-end quality to find the winner before extra time here. So with that being said, my exact score prediction on this one, I like Brazil 2, Japan 1. Give me Brazil to win the 90 minutes at -145. I would play this to somewhere around -160. At -165 or worse, I would pass. And before you jump off the
day, we have got the first of 2 massive clashes between sides from Group C and Group F. This one is coming from Houston, as it is Brazil, the winners of Group C, taking on Japan, the runners-up of Group F. In the group stages, Brazil got off to a rough start where, quite frankly, they were outplayed by Morocco, but still were able to come away with a 1-1 draw. However, it was against the other 2 sides in the group where they showed their strength. Back-to-back 3-0 victories, with their most recent one coming against Scotland in round 3, where Vinicius Jr. and Matheus Cunha were once again on the score sheets. 4 and 3 goals for them, respectively, at this World Cup so far. But even in victory, Alisson made some crucial saves to keep Scotland out, meaning that Brazil did end up beating Morocco on goal difference and topping the group. As for Japan, I'd say they showed their qualities throughout every single minute of this World Cup. For the first 2.5 matches of the group stages, they got a brilliant 2-2 draw against the Netherlands in round 1, where arguably they should have won that match. They got a brilliant 4-0 victory over Tunisia in round 2. They arguably got the best team goal of the tournament to open the scoring against Sweden in round 3. Maeda rounding off a brilliant move. But like I said, in the second half, they really sort of eased off, allowed Sweden to get back into it, conceded an equaliser, and actually could have ended up losing that match, but it ended up finishing in a 1-1 draw, meaning that they ended up finishing behind the Netherlands and ending up in this match against Brazil. In terms of the team news for this massive game, we have got one major injury concern for Brazil. That is, of course, Rafinha, who's missed the last couple of games anyway. Who will take his place this time, though? Will it be Rayan like it was in round 3? Will it be Luis Enrique? Or could Neymar actually start this match? We're going to have to see. Couple of players missing for Japan as well. Itakura suffered a muscular injury in the first half of the Sweden game, and he is going to be out. And Kubo, unfortunately, has not recovered in time for this first knockout match. Here is where things start to get interesting, though, as we look at the head-to-head record. These two sides actually played in a friendly last October, where it was Japan who came away with the 3-2 victory. Now, it has to be noted that neither team were at full strength for that match, but Japan were a little bit more first team than Brazil were. But since then, Japan have still gone on an incredible 10-game unbeaten run. Every single friendly in the lead up to the World Cup and all 3 of their World Cup matches so far. Brazil, by contrast, have lost another game since that Japan game, although it was against France. They haven't lost a single other one, and both sides have looked decent in this World Cup so far. I think a lot of people are going to have Brazil as the favourites for this match, but I think this is going to be an incredibly close encounter, and I also think this is a game that's going to make its way to extra time. I think if there's going to be a winner in 90 minutes, it is more likely to be Brazil. If the game does go beyond 90 into those extra time periods, I think it will be the Japanese who comes out on top. My incredibly hot take this early on in the knockout stages is I'm going for a 1-1 draw in 90 minutes, and I'm going to go for Japan to take it in extra time or penalties. Before we move on to the other 2 matches, let's see what you guys have been saying over on the community page regarding this opening fixture. And there is a bit more of a surprise for me, because the majority have just gone for Japan. 51% of you thinking Japan are going to progress, only 49% thinking Brazil are going to progress, but also still more favourable for Brazil to win it in 90, but 43%, 41%, it's very, very close, and just 16% of you agreeing with me for the draw. It's going to be a fascinating game. Who's going to come out on top? We'll find out tomorrow night. On to our